everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, yes, that is the Evolve 1, the XDynamics Evolve 1, and the reason I'm making this video right now is because the specs for the XDynamics Evolve 2, they are out, they are published, and I'm just going to tell you about it right now. And if you're somebody like me who loved the Evolve 1, then you're really going to love the Evolve 2. So let me tell you about the camera. First off, you know how we're used to cameras at 4K 30 frames per second, and then we get really excited if it's 4K 60 frames per second? Well, the Evolve 2 is going to have 4K at 120 frames per second. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, and did I also mention it's not a 1-inch sensor? No, you know the 1-inch sensor that everybody gets excited about? It's a micro 4/3 sensor, which is bigger than a 1-inch sensor. That's like pro camera model, and the lens is removable, so you can replace the lens with other lenses. If you're new to photography, you probably think a bigger sensor is better, and that's all you know, but you don't know why. So it works like this. The bigger the sensor, the more light gathering through the lens. And it means that, you know, when you get low light, the dynamic range should be pretty darn decent, just like a really nice DSLR or mirrorless camera. This is going to be the lightest drone to carry a micro 4/3 camera. So that's probably going to, you know, that's going to appeal to a lot of consumers. But once again, micro 4/3 camera with a sensor and a processor that does 120 frames per second at 4K. Ooh, that sounds a little pricey, so we'll have to see about that. And like I say, the lens is removable, and XDynamics makes it so their cameras are removable. You just push a button and the camera falls off, and that's what this is. Now, you're probably curious about the range of the Evolve 2, because when most of us did a range test with the Evolve 1, we didn't get very far, especially if you were in an area with congested Wi-Fi. So if you fly it in an area like this, you might get 1 kilometer maximum distance with the Evolve 1, but the Evolve 2, hang on to your socks, your hat, and your shirt, and your breakfast, and lunch, and supper, because the Evolve 2 is going to give you 11 kilometers of range. I know you're all laughing now, going, how is that possible, 11 kilometers? Well, the controller on the Evolve 2 is going to be similar to power of a lot of the new drones coming out. In other words, you'll get 6 kilometers range. But what they did is at the back of the controller, you can attach additional external antennas. Now, if you put high gain antennas on it, you're going to get 11 kilometers. Now, these are the specs. You know, I haven't tried this, so I don't know if that's true. And honestly, I can't try it because I live in Canada. If I flew this thing 11 kilometers, I'd have to answer to a lot of people. But there's going to be people living in the world who need 11 kilometers range, and this might just do it for them. And on the new controller, it has a dual screen, just like the old one, except they've made sure that the screens on the dual controller get you up to like 1,000 nits. So that's just like having a modern day cell phone that is super bright outside, like the latest iPhone, the most expensive one, or the most expensive Samsung phone. Those ones there will go super bright outside. You probably see it in my reviews when you see my cell phone a lot of times in a review, how bright it is, because I use the brightest screens possible known to man for exactly that purpose. Now, before any goofball asks the following question, is the drone under 250 grams? No, it's not. You know, to lift all that weight, it has to weigh quite a bit. So this drone weighs about 1.9 kilograms, which is just over 4 pounds, I believe. Oh yes, and you're probably wondering about flight time. Well, just like all modern day drones, this drone with the specs says that it will get 33 minutes of flight time. Yep. Can you imagine 33 minutes with a camera drone like that? You can do a lot of cinematography. And obviously, since it can carry the big camera and it weighs a lot more than your average drone and it flies for a long time, which means it has a big battery, well, it's got to have big props, and the props are like 13 inches. So those are pretty big props to put on a drone. Hey, did you notice behind me when I've been walking here? Look out behind me. These guys are all ice fishing out there. So it's pretty quiet right now, but I got my little XDynamics Evolve 1 over there. I'm just going to fly around a bit and see what the video's like. right, I've got the Evolve 1 filming me now. So what did you think of the specs on the Evolve 2? It sounds like a really good drone. You know, this is pretty cool. It follows me. Actually, I'm doing it manually. So I think the Evolve 2 is going to be very popular at CES. A lot of media is going to look at that drone and go, wow, this is pretty amazing. I know a lot of you are going to, when you see the price tag, I don't know what the price tag is. You might be less enthusiastic and you might say stuff like, hey, but it has no obstacle avoidance. Well, the drone is designed to be like very well manufactured. It's like there's high quality and then there's massively high quality. This is in the massive high quality range for like manufacturing. If you've been flying drones for as long as I have, you really want something so much higher. So yeah, so the Evolve 2 is obviously going to be that. Now, like anything, the specs look really great on paper and the drone is probably going to look awesome, especially with that camera. I've already seen some photos that it's taken and it's pretty darn decent. But until I get one in my hands and try it out for myself, I really can't tell you the truth about it and how good everything is. So keep watching this channel and you'll see that review here. So for now, I've got the Evolve 1 and I guess I should just take it up. Here we go, baby! See you later in the next review. Man, that thing is powerful.